first and foremost, I appreciate everything this community is. They've loved on me since I've been here, loved on me and my family. And given, just the fact that we have a new stadium, some new energy coming into this thing, the community is excited. It's a good energy to bring in.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we've turned the page. Like, this is like what I've been waiting for like my whole life, being the senior with all my friends and getting the ball out my senior season.
I will happily concede that soliciting wide receiver opinion on Marvin McNutt's hire at Keokuk is the very definition of jury tampering. But it would also be intellectually dishonest journalism to ignore the current of offensive excitement cachet the former Iowa star and NFL pro brings to his new job in the Gate City. And I think it's also honest to suggest that Coach McNutt might never have kicked the tires on the Keokuk job if there weren't catalysts in place to help him enact his vision for the Chiefs' offense. That starts, of course, with a quarterback getting serious college looks in Brenton Horde.
Competitiveness. When you have a four-sport athlete that can just do things, you look to him to make sure he can find ways to win. It's not always about, hey, how many X and O's or can you make the 40-yard pass? Can you make the plays that are makeable? And how many times can you compete to win? Those are things that I look for when you're talking about, hey, how can you lead our group? How can you give it to us? And like you say, the quarterback I had that's from this area that could sling it, that's also a plus. The kids down here know how to throw the ball.
What's the biggest thing you learned last year, kind of under baptism by fire at quarterback?
To get through your reads quickly and just be quick as you can because you don't got a lot of time. And with him, he's been teaching me how to go through my reads, progressions, and it's helped me a lot.
Like, he obviously sees things on defense, and he'll check a play, tell me what to run, and he'll drop it in there for me. I can score a touchdown.
First things I look for when you talk about, what he brings to this team. Those guys look to him to lead them, and they look to him to make sure that, hey, are we in the right spot and get him there? And I put a lot on his shoulders, but I knew he can handle it. I mean, it's his time. He's a senior. He wants to prove to the next level he can play.
The skill position weapons at Horde's disposal are better than most realize. Though he's not yet a known commodity, Julius Clay has impressed at running back. There's also ample depth around him in the backfield and alongside Drew Campbell at wide receiver.
Right now, man, it's all about, right, how much can we do right together? Those guys are playing really well. For the most part, I'm going to lean on those guys really heavily to also just be there for the young guys and for some of the guys that don't have the experience to play varsity, to keep them calm, keep them in the game. Understand that this is a lot of football they have left to play, and so during this year we're going to lean on Drew, Mason, Juju, even Braxton. Those guys they've seen the varsity game, and so it's time for them to step up.
And then there's the Mason Klaus scenario to account for.
Oh, it's a lot. He's going to have a bigger role this year. We lost some key skill players, and he's going to be able to block for us. He's gotten a lot better at catching and route running and blocking, so he's going to be a very big key for us.
As a returning 95 tackle guy on the other side of the ball, Mason is a valuable and motivated linchpin on a defense that absolutely has to get better relative to last year.
Yeah, I was a little pressed about it last year because I didn't get those couple playoff games, and I didn't even start at the beginning of the season, so I thought if I just had a few more, I would have been up there, but I'm ready to come get it this year.
But you asked me what I thought about when I got here. I knew two key pieces. You had a quarterback on one side, and you have a quarterback on the other side named Mason, that those guys will get you in the right plays, those guys will lead. And they granted, I have to teach them sometimes how to call guys out, but, at the end of the day, they're not afraid to make sure their guys know what they're doing.
Admittedly, there are other positional rehabs that must be achieved for Keokuk to ascend, particularly with a completely rookie-filled offensive line. But that's not stopping this crew of Chiefs from believing in the power of their own potential.
Absolutely, I think we can. I know we can. So I think we're going to get it done this year.